Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It is Friday, June 25th, and we had a wild week of baseball. Honestly, it was a wild one. It's a good one. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Echo 20. Hey-oh. We played through it, Trev. No one even noticed. My bad. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented by DraftKings. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake, Trevor Plouffe in California, and producer BBD in the corner. And this episode is also brought to you by our most recent patrons, Ben Groh, Cameron Rochelle, Alex Moses, Brett Savell, or Sable, Zach Showitz, or Shiowitz, Carmen Trifero, and Rajan Samra? God, that's a tough one at the end. I apologize.
I think it's more like a J, like a
Rajan?
Like Dijon, like a Dijon, but
okay.
Rajan.
Samara?
That's my guess.
Samra? Well, thank you to our most recent patrons. We appreciate you very much. Thank you very much for the support. And my bad on the Echo intro. That's my bad. I don't want people thinking that was BBD's fault. It was mine. Jake, how you doing?
James, Trevor, Big Baby David, everyone in the chat. Everyone listen to this. Hope you're doing well. Baseball is the hottest in the streets. We had the hottest night of regular season baseball in my lifetime on Tuesday night. Wild. We got pitchers just showing dick on the mound. Literally. I mean, we talk about it, and then it literally happened. There was a genuine moment. This is not a joke. I make a lot of dumb jokes, and I continue to. There was a second on Tuesday night where I thought I might actually be dreaming. When Romo dropped Trout and Wander show and all of it, I genuinely thought dream or simulation. Like, I started questioning things. I tried thinking of stuff to see if it would happen next. It didn't. Turned out I was just awake. We all were. But baseball was hot in the streets. I'm excited to chop it up with you lads. Big weekend for me and Joms. Yanks this weekend with the Sox coming up. That'll be hot takes on Monday. But for now, excited to yuck it up with you boys. And a special episode we're dedicating to BBD's grandma. We're sending our well wishes. She hurt her pitching shoulder, but we love her. And she's going to be 100 soon, so shout out.
Shout out, Grammy.
Shout out.
Is she coming up on 100, or is Jake just making things up?
No, she just turned 88 in March.
I'm on the gun.
But she's going to be 100%.
100% is
okay.
what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to do the
Not sure of the
show.
timeline on that.
Baseball
do the
show.
Norm,
We're working on
the
it.
more Norm Macdonald joke about well-wishers?
If you want, you teed it up.
No.
Okay, go Google Norm Macdonald roast if you're looking for some laughs today. Trev,
Jake,
speaking of
you have
roasted,
a lot of well-wishers here tonight.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I would like to throw you down one. A well. That's my favorite Norm Macdonald. It's 5 minutes.
Dino Trev, what's up, dude?
Do I need to come save the show already? Is that what's
Yeah.
happening?
Dude, according to Inc.com, you're kind of the show's biggest derailer.
I think that's true. At least that's what what's his name? Kevin said about me.
Yes.
I'm a little self-conscious right now because I just realized I'm wearing a Talkin' Baseball hat on Talkin' Baseball. And it's like, you can't go to a rock show with like the band of your, the band that's playing. You can have a T-shirt on of the band.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
how I
baseball.
feel
You
right
can wear the
Yeah.
team, Yankees players wear Yankees hats.
now. Not off
Big
the
facts.
field,
But you're not off the field.
You're on
You're
the field
in between
right
the
now.
lines right
You're-
now.
You're
I guess you're right. I
have
guess
your
you're right.
uniform
I had a big morning today. I had to go to CVS to get some lice removal, a lice removal kit. We
Damn.
found that Teddy might have some lice, so we just preemptively did it for him. He's going to a summer camp now, so the kids are disgusting. Kids are disgusting.
Thanks for calling me Teddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I got a nice Starbucks coffee here, which I never do.
Nice.
Feeling pretty good. Besides my hat,
Excited.
it's a nice hat.
It's good.
It is a nice hat.
Be excited about your
Nice
hat.
hat.
BBD, how are you?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
It's fair.
James.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. We have a half day today, so I'm excited about that.
Summer Fridays.
half day in the office. I'm
day in the office.
going home to work. I told Katie I was working all night, so I guess I don't really have a half day. Half day in the
Yank
office.
Sox, let's go.
Yank Sox tonight.
Best
Excited about
rivalry in
that.
sports.
Baseball. There's a lot of topics that we'll cover along the way, but yeah, it was one of the wildest days in baseball, and then some more big stories kept happening. So I'm excited to talk all about it.
Oops, over the monster, second deck at Yankee Stadium. Hello, home run champ.
Trev, you're the National League presenter today, correct?
Completely wrong.
I am not. Nope.
Jake
Nope. You
is.
just made fun of me for the.
Yeah.
You've
how
been
many
slumping
interview
on
games
that
there are.
lately. We might have to add you to Slump Watch.
I know it before the show, and
Right.
then when I get in between the lines, I botch it.
You're thinking about it too much. You just got to trust yourself.
Because I knew Trev had a lot of teams.
Right.
So then I was like trying to,
It's okay.
yeah. Also, nothing.
Okay.
Hey.
Do we have any ads?
Hey, everyone
BBD?
go
I
smash
guess I'll just
that
ask
like
on air.
button.
I was going to mute myself and ask you.
I just sent you a Slack. I didn't explicitly tell you this, but no.
Okay.
Cute.
I should have said it before.
Okay. That's why
I
I,
didn't
was
forget
really
to print
tripped
stuff
up.
out.
We're going to the All-Star game in Denver.
This NL recap by Jake is brought to you by JOMBOY Media. Goes to the All-Star game. The whole crew's going to be there, all the baseball people. Jake, Trev, you have your hand up, or are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating.
Celebrating.
Happy.
Okay. Yeah. Confuses a lot of teachers when you're celebrating in class. Jake, you're up.
Huge.
Go, All-Star
in
game.
Denver.
See you in Denver.
July
Watch.
13th.
watch
Tuesday.
party. What happened in the NL?
The National League, we had a big boy series, fellas. Late night, Dodgers at Padres. Grab your brooms. The fathers are back. The Padres sweep the Dodgers 3 at home. Oh boy. We're doing it in the NL Best. Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove versus Urias, Kershaw, and Bauer. This was a real one, fellas. Manny Machado was all over the field making big plays. Welcome to the Crone Zone. Jake Cronenworth doing it. Belly came back, but he's still getting ready, and Seager should be back soon. Padres sweep the Dodgers for the first time since April 2013. First time at home since 2010. People, that's over a decade. Father up, boy, did they need that. BBD's Phillies get swept by Poppy Gordo's Nationals. Natitude season, boys? It's just sweat. Scherzer outduels Wheeler 3-2 in the first game. And then we had a chaotic second game, 13-12. This game was all over the chart. Everyone was tweeting out the win probability chart. It's up, it's down, it's yes, it's no. Girardi, go check out the breakdown on that. Thought he was going for Scherzer. Actually, old friend K. Long getting the business
You want
from
to go, K-Long?
a lot of energy. How about Bryce Harper, 2 homers? How's your burger Schwarber season? We'll talk about that at some point. Mets and Braves split. Boo. We like winning series. This included a doubleheader. Mets starting to make up their game. So, hey, maybe that's good for them. Survive. Jeff McNeil, he returns from the IL. The flying squirrel. He likes to slap it around a little bit. 4 hits in this series. Max Fried expected to return. Trevor Tex, we'll ask about that in a minute. And Brandon Nimmo's supposed to come back soon. The Salt Man, Charlie Morton, he had a really nice start. Talk about that a little bit. Sinkers, Brewers at D-backs. Jake Snakes versus Jake's Brew Crew. This was a tough one for me. I got to be honest with you. The result that needed to happen happened. Brewers take 2 out of 3. D-backs take the first one. Let's go. end some streaks with that. Brew Crew, Freddie Peralta, man, that's a name you got to start knowing. They win the second game 5-0, and then they take the rubber match. Offenses struggle a little bit in this series. We saw a glove confiscated during Fever Dream, crazy night of regular season baseball. Peralta's glove was too light. Good way to piss him off. Ooh, Yelly Bomb. I feel like we haven't heard enough about that. Vogie goes to the IL. We hate it, we hate it, we hate it. And that's what's going on in the National League.
Wow. Good job, Jake. Great job by you. Where do you want to start? What stands out to you? Obviously, if it was me, it's the Padres.
I think it's Padres-Dodgers, guys.
Padres have 2 sweeps in a row, 4-game sweep of the Reds, 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. They're feeling good. Machado's making plays all over the field.
Yeah.
It's reading that it might be his best defensive season this far. And Roberts comes out, says he hates the shift now.
They shift so much.
I know. Well,
I did a sequence episode on Machado doing that shift. Like normally he's just doing the regular shift, but then every once in a while they'll put him back where he's basically a right fielder. And I did an episode where that saved a game where a ball came off the wall that Will Myers didn't catch, and he was right there. And it's like, why the fuck is the third baseman in right field? But it worked for them in this series. I mean, that ball he almost caught out there was insane.
He's a monster.
Crazy to watch him do that.
He's a monster. I mean, we forget about him a little bit because of that Tatis guy, but I mean, he's 28. He turns 29 July 6th, so get ready for that. Happy 4th of July to Manny Machado. This was huge for the Padres. We've been lightly checking the standings. It's the time of the season where the standings are getting more real with the trade deadline approaching. Padres had to get hot a little bit. Dodgers and Giants put a little separation between the fathers, as Jimmy mentioned. They get their sweep on, and now they are tied with the Dodgers. And look who's 4.5 games up in the NL West, your San Francisco Giants.
Dude, they just keep winning.
It's insanity. I love it. Good for the Padres. Good for the Dodgers. Those games are going to be electric the rest of the year, and Giants might just trickle through the whole time.
the Padres, now, I am not tuned in to Padres talk. And I'm scared of the fan base because they're the most pissy fan base out there. But
it's intimidating.
It's got to be something. There's got to be some like half baked, half serious, half joking theory of like they do the reopening day. This team was so good last year, and they didn't have fans. The fans were standing in the streets celebrating for the team as they got on the bus. They couldn't get in the building to cheer these guys on since they've been like this Tatis swag show. And now they finally get fans, and they are undefeated with a crowd. They have one more home series left. It would be so cool if they sweep the D-backs, and that's kind of a narrative. And, like, since the Padres have given back to the fan base, they're undefeated. Because the energy for all those games is crazy.
Awesome.
Get back to being America's team, right?
And I don't know if they just show young kids, but when I flip through the Dodgers-Padres games, it's a bunch of young kids. Maybe that just might be the broadcast, but it's a bunch of young kids all with the same exact haircut, all in Padres uniforms, celebrating. And I'm like, they might have the youth. That's a young fan base.
This is the thing about San Diego, though, that they don't have other pro sports there anymore. Like the Padres is the only show in town. They don't have a hockey team. They got rid of their football team. They don't have a basketball team.
Same with Oakland, but you're not going to see that place packed because
Well,
it's a dump.
Oh, no. Oakland is so close to San Francisco. Like there's teams there that you can go see.
I mean, San Diego's pretty close to L.A.
It's not close to. It's 3 hours from L.A.
Oakland, if they were well run and getting a new stadium, should print out the San Diego Padres model, copy and paste.
Yeah.
Because you're right, Trev. I think that's a good thing. If San Diego becomes a baseball town, beautiful San Diego, now we're talking, babe. Or Silo did it right.
It's the perfect storm to be a baseball town. Southern California, baseball is pretty prominent down there or around here. And then, like I said, all the teams left. Or I guess the only one team. There's only ever a football team. There was never a basketball team. There's never a hockey team. I don't know if there's a soccer team. I don't think so.
Wow.
So here they are, man. And they have a good team. I think that's the most important thing.
Yes.
They were crappy. That's what I hear from my buddies from San Diego. It's like, man, we were so bad for so long. They're so excited to have something to root for. And you see it every night. I don't know, the same haircut thing. What kind of haircut you looking at, man?
Everyone's got somewhat curly hair behind the hat, and then they all have a hat on. And they all have like a dusty brown hair, and they all look the same. It's like a sun-stroked brown hair. Like I bet if they came for a northeast winter, they'd have dark hair, but down there, my brother does this. In the summer, his hair turns like light brown. I think they're all using sun-in and wearing the same hats and molding the back of their hair. And Dan kind of looks like a Padres fan.
I'm trying to think of the best examples. There's a few NBA guys like LaMelo Ball kind of did it to a big degree. Yeah.
Oh, that's just the youth haircut now.
Yeah,
that's the one you're talking about where they poof it all up here and then
you get a little extra
here.
flavor up top. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks
There's
like the
guys in the
same
show doing
5
that. It's like a
kids that
perm.
they just superimpose every time they do a close-in shot.
Okay.
Be gone in a year.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Every time they show the crowd a Padres game, it's like electric.
It's electric.
And Melanson's the saves leader. He picks up 4 saves in the last 5 games or whatever.
Hot.
Blows my mind. 36-year-old Mark Melanson leading the league in saves and got 4 in the last 5 days.
Hot boy summer. Trev, let's see. I think I might.
I'm not hating on the haircut, Jeremy, just to let you know.
I'm
just pointing out that it exists.
2021 kids haircut season.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that haircut. I'll say I hate it.
Okay.
Like the perm thing. Drew Butera did
Yes.
it. Zach Plesac did it.
Yes.
It's the Patrick Mahomes cut.
Yes, Trevor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little try hard for me. Like if you have to try hard to do it, you shouldn't do it. I guess that's my point.
I think the other team that is currently grabbing the conversation of the NL series are the Nationals. Holy Toledo, Trev. Trev's pumping the brakes on me a little bit, but this is a segment where we talk about the series. So they're back to 500, 36 and 36.
Could be an award later. I don't know.
It could be. We're not sure.
Could be.
We'll see.
I'm not sure. You guys got to stop giving awards to full teams. Jake did it last episode, and now you're doing it.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right. Well, then we can talk about the Nationals as a team.
Not. What do you
Nationals
want to
are
talk
good.
about, Trev? How about that?
I'm just saying, I got some stuff to say that we're probably going to double up on. I don't want to do that to our chat and the fans that are listening to this show, okay?
Awesome.
But yes, incredible series. The Nationals are doing it. They're back, reminiscent of what? 2019? Just don't talk about Schwarber too much. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
There you go.
You know who's been playing decent ball, Jake? Your Rockies.
When they're at home, they're a great team.
Yeah. I think since Story's come back, they have a winning record.
He also helps.
I think they're 6-3 or something like that. But they're like 500.
Buyers at the deadline?
Yeah, people are.
Are we going to talk about them during the IL recap? Because that's
The IL has so much. I'll do the AL real
Get
quick.
rolling, kid.
I'll do the AL because the AL's kind of got nothing. There's so many interleague series. Here we go. The Astros went to Baltimore and absolutely kicked the Orioles' asses. They extend their winning streak to 10 games. Parentheses, it's now 11. They started the next series yesterday, and they won that game. But Odorizzi has another good start. Doesn't go that deep into the game, but really good. Greinke has a great start. Urquidy has a great start. The Astros starting pitchers had a 0.47 ERA. The relief pitchers were even better. Orioles pitchers, 8.16 ERA. Jeez, and 7.11 in the bullpen. The Astros took a combined no-hitter into the 8th inning. Urquidy then had 7 shutout innings. Bregman still isn't playing, but he's 2 weeks away. The Astros offense absolutely explodes. They had a 336 batting average this series and a 418 on base percentage. They hit 6 home runs. That's one of the best not one of, currently the best team in the AL, beating up on one of the worst teams and doing it soundly. The Royals came to the Bronx to play the Yankees. They won game one. Cole on the bump versus the Royals. They come back and win it. Johnny Lasagna blows it for the Yanks. But the Yankees come back and win it in game two with some big home runs by Rougned Odor and Gary Sanchez. In game three, the rubber match, Jameson Taillon has his first good start in a while. 6.1 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Gary Sanchez hits another homer. Luke Voigt made his return and hit really well in this series. Judge also had some good stuff going on. So the Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the Royals. Needed that. The Red Sox went down to Tampa to play the Rays and lost 2 out of 3. Rays win the series, even though the Red Sox won game one, which went into extra innings, and the Sox put up 4 in the 11th inning to win 9-5. Game two, the Rays won easily, and game three was wild. They had a no-hitter on one side. We had barely any hits. We had a bunch of walks. We had outs at the plate. We had pickoffs, and the Rays win after Margot steals second, advances to third on an error, and then scores on a wild pitch, which was also a swinging strike. So the Rays take that series. The A's and the Rangers played 4 games, and they split, which is boring. Very boring. Gibby had a good start. I think Montes didn't. I think he had an awful start. The Rangers hit, which is good. Eli White had 8 hits with a home run. Willie Calhoun had 6 hits. Adolis Garcia, I feel like we haven't heard his name in a while. He had 2 home runs. Bassett, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run in game 4. And Romo dropped his pants when the umps checked for substances in game 2. And that's all you have in the AL. There's a lot of IL. So if we just want to kind of talk quickly about some of these teams, we can. But the IL's got a lot of the action. The Yankees needed to beat the Royals. They did. This Red Sox series could put the Yankees right back to like bad times and out of it. So it's a big weekend coming up. And for the Red Sox as well, because they just lost a series to the Rays, which was cool. The Wander show was happening. Game 3 was wild. I don't know if you guys have anything on Oakland and Texas or Houston and Baltimore. Houston's so scary.
Houston looks like the best team in the big leagues right now.
For sure. They've won 11 in a row. Their offense, they don't even have Bregman. It's so deep. And their starters are just like Odorizzi now being a pitcher and like pitching well for them. It's just, man.
You just mentioned their offense is ridiculous. Their pitching has been great, both sides of the ball, starters and relievers. They could use another reliever, but they've still been good. And also, their defense is like second best in the league if you're going by defensive run saves. They are literally firing on all cylinders. I love when teams go on stretches like this, and sometimes it doesn't equate to wins, but this one definitely has, and they're going and they're going and they're going, and man, like I can't tell if I actually like love the story of this redemption for them, where it's like they're not banging on a trash can anymore. People still say, oh, they're still cheating. It's like, no, they're not cheating. They're just really good. They didn't have to use that stupid freaking system. I wish that never happened, because they were a beloved team throughout baseball, and they're never going to get that back. Even when they're playing this good and they're this fucking fun to watch, they're not the darling of the MLB anymore. They never will be again because of what happened, but they're playing like it. It's fun to watch.
And I think this could be the start of something for the Astros, because they have Detroit and Baltimore as their next 2 series. So this team is poised to go into the All-Star break. They finish at Cleveland and then hosting Oakland and the Yankees. It's looking like, with Baltimore and Detroit coming up, I think one of the stories at All-Star Weekend that we'll all be at and discussing stuff is the Astros could be the best team in baseball. They are right now. They might be then. And like you said, Trev, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like they have bonus starting pitching that you just don't hear teams ever talk about.
Can I tell you about the starting pitching?
Please.
A little bit. In the last 5 times through the rotation, the last 5 times, so you're talking about 25 starts, math. They have a collective. It's a lot of starts we're talking about here.
Sure.
2.55 ERA.
Yeah.
How nuts is that?
It's lights out.
That's Luis Garcia, Zach Greinke, Jose Urquidy, Framber Valdez, and Odorizzi. Garcia has 6 starts, and Odorizzi has 4. The other 3 have 5, but it's 5 times through the rotation. A 2.55 ERA.
Yeah. That's like having a Cy Young pitcher throw every start.
Every start.
Not bad.
A Cy Young pitcher throw every start for the last 30 days.
It's a good feeling.
That's so crazy.
Feeling. And hey, good for them, talking about some of the lesser teams, Orioles, Tigers, stuff like that. Good.
They also
That's a trait of good teams, is rolling up on the bad ones.
In the last 30 days, the Astros offense also has 8 players with a 830 or above OPS. So you're getting a Cy Young outing from a pitcher every night and a close to all-star.
Yeah, borderline all-star. Outfielder.
Yeah, 8 deep borderline all-star at the plate. I mean, 4 of them have a 1 OPS in the last 30 days. So you're getting 4 MVPs in the last 30 days. And then 2 of them have 9.6, 9.4. So that's definitely all-star. Yeah. So, I mean, that's last 30 days, that's the impressive baseball from the Astros.
Love it. Houston, man, the Yankees, it's the Royals. They win 2 out of 3. They're fighting. A lot of come-from-behind wins. Luke Voit is back, which feels big. Gary Sanchez has been raking. Like Jim said, I mean, it's a Boston and Yankees series, so either team can be devastated by the outcome this weekend. Boston can really be reeled in if the Yankees have a good series and their good start isn't out the window, but it just comes into frame how long a baseball season is. And if the Yankees get rolled up on by the Sox, we will be back down in the dumps. So tune in for that. Excited to see. Red Sox, Rays, they were button heads down in Tampa, like you mentioned, Jim. That wild last game, Wander's debut, extra innings. That was Joe's McFly posed a good one on the final game of the series, like, who do we want to win or lose? And it's kind of a sick Yankees question. I didn't know. Athletics, Rangers. Ooh, kind of don't care right now. Sorry.
Good for the Rangers for
love Gibby
for tying it up. The A's
A's are kind of fine with splitting at home. I think the Rangers also kind of fine with splitting at home, unfortunately.
I think the A's, what did they do?
Road trip?
I guess it's a road trip, but it's not, that successful of a road trip. It's a losing road trip for them, so I think, and now they go to San Francisco. So far it's a losing road trip, and now they go play 3 against San Francisco, which they're home, they're in their beds, but technically it's a road trip.
Rivalry weekend, huh?
Mm-hmm. But if the
A's are going to win 96 games and have to play the wild card, like that's what's going to happen. It's going to suck.
Oh, hey, do the interleague, and then I'm going to do my Friday. This would be the playoffs right now update. Huge. We decided I was going to do on Fridays, and I'm excited about it.
Let me get there.
And then BBD is going to be the stimulator or simulator or both, depending on what he wants to do. He's going to stimulate the simulation, and he's going to play out the whole playoffs for us.
Interleague.
You ready, Trev?
I'm ready.
All right.
We'll start out in Minnesota. The Reds came into town. They split this series 1 game apiece. The first one, 7-5 Twins. Sano walks it off. Hat versus Molly. Second game, 10-7 Reds. Miley versus Ober. The Twins slashed 293, slugged 524. The Reds hit well as well. That's what I was going to say. It doesn't sound right to me. Twins starting pitchers not so hot. The Reds did okay. Miley goes 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run in game 2. The only starting pitcher on either team to complete 5 innings. Bad news for the Twins. Buxton fractures his hand on an errant fastball, and he's placed on the 10-day IL. They say it will not need surgery. Also, Randy Dobnak placed on the 10-day IL. They split the series 1-1. Moving on to Detroit, the Cardinals go in and get swept by the Tigers. We haven't talked about that enough. The Cardinals have not been playing good baseball. 8-2 Tigers, 6-2 Tigers. The Cardinals did not hit. The Tigers hit pretty well. Scope had 2 home runs. Matt Manning earns his first career win and his second career start in Game 2. Tommy Edman, the only Cardinal with 3 hits in this series. Miguel Cabrera exits Game 1 and sits Game 2 with groin tightness, and Turnbull not expected back until after the All-Star break. Good news for the Cardinals, Harrison Bader to begin rehab assignment. Cardinals get swept in Detroit. Moving on to Florida. The Blue Jays go into Marlins Stadium, whatever it's called, and they sweep them. 2-1 Blue Jays, 3-1 Blue Jays. Neither team hit really well. Both teams pitched well. Ray and Stripling both go 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run for the Jays. Romano, our guy, records 2 saves. Starling Marte, future Yankee, 3 hits and a home run, the only Marlin with multiple hits. Nate Pearson is going to get a 4th, not a second opinion, not a 3rd opinion, but a 4th opinion on his strained right groin. Dickerson to remain in walking boot for 3 weeks before being reevaluated, and Cooper starts rehab assignment for the Marlins. They get swept by the Blue Jays. Moving on, the Indians go into Chicago and they split the series. 4-0 Indians. Savale versus Alzolay in Game 1. 7-1 Cubs. Hendricks versus Morgan for the split. Neither team really hit that well. Hendricks goes 6 shutout innings for the second straight start in Game 2. Has gone 6+ innings in each of his last 8 starts. Wilson Contreras, 4 hits with a homer and 2 doubles. Rafael Ortega, 2 hits, is the only other Cub with multiple hits. Josh Naylor, 3 hits with a home run, and he's the only Indian with 3 hits. Like I said, neither team hit well at all. That series is split. Oh, yeah, and Aaron Savale leaves the start early, placed in the 10-day IL with a strained right middle finger. Give him the bird. He can't right now. They split the series. Anaheim brings in the Giants. Guess what the Giants do? They sweep because all they do is win freaking baseball games. 5-0 Giants. That's Scalfini versus Heaney. Oh, that's a fun one to say. Second game, 9-3 Giants in 13. That was Gausman versus Ohtani. Giants starting pitchers, 6.64 ERA, and the relief pitchers threw 8 shutout innings. Angels pitchers did not fare so well. Scalfini goes 7 shutty. Gausman goes 7 innings with 1 earned run. He's the only Giants pitcher to give up an earned run. They scored 7 runs in the 13th inning of Game 2, including Talkman with a 3-run jack. He had 5 strikeouts before that. That's how you turn the day around, baby. The Giants are waiting on knee MRI results, but a really good chance Belt will be placed on the IL. Upton exits Game 1 and sits Game 2 with back tightness. The Giants sweep. Moving on to Seattle, the Rockies go in and get a series split. Good for them. That's a win for the Rockies. 2-1 Mariners in Game 1, 5-2 Rockies in Game 2. Both offenses struggled. Both starting pitchers and relievers did okay. Marquez, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Freeland, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run for the Rocks. Story with 2 homers. My guy, J.P. Crawford, is the only Mariner with multiple hits. He had 3. Gray to return Friday for the Rocks. That's good for your Rocks, Jake. And ending the IL, White Sox going to Pittsburgh, and they split the series. 6-3 Pirates, 4-3 White Sox. I don't really want to talk about anything because the song just ended. Let's talk IL baseball.
Good, great job, Trev. What a slog! Because I don't know if you were on the episode when Jake declared this, or Rose was filling in for you. But I am in full agreement. 2-game interleague series absolutely suck. I don't give a shit about the results of a single one of these. I was trying to find ones that I think I care about. White Sox and Pirates split 2 games. Rockies and Mariners split 2 games. Giants sweep the Angels 2 games. Like, it would have been nice if the Angels could split that, but Indians Cubs split. Like, Blue Jays sweep, I got excited. I was like, wow, the Blue Jays really needed that, but it's only 2 games, so I don't care. And then the Cardinals, a lot of Cardinals fans asked me, are we dead because the Tigers sweeped us even though it was only 2 series? I said, no, you're not, because 2-game series don't mean anything. So
I think
it's a bummer.
The way you have to look at it, because I believe these are all home and away 2-2.
Yeah, I think.
So I believe you have to look at it like a 4-game set overall.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the better way to do it.
And they lump off days around it. That was kind of the whole plan.
Yeah,
but,
as a player, you like this.
right, but that's kind of what we're saying. Like, if you're gonna do this, it's meaningless. Like, I think even as a coach, you say, like, these either are wrapped in off days or there's one off day attached. So it's kind of like your team takes 3 days off, which, yeah, I'm sure is really nice for the players, and they need to work on the off day system. I would even be more fine if these 2-game sets weren't interleague. Like, and I think they have done that, but like the
fact that they're interleague,
if you play your division team and like if you get a 2-gamer, then that's kind of like, let's go. Like, we just got 2 games on a team in our division. It's just kind of a miss.
I think the players like it because there's off days in front and behind, and then a lot of guys get a day off, so they get 3 off days in a 4-game stretch, and then there's it's more of a rest week than a results week.
Yeah, and it's fun to go to new cities. You're seeing. Right. I like interleague because you see the different teams play each other. Like, I'm
fine with interleague. I just don't like the 2-game series.
Yeah,
just like the 2-game midweek interleague series it's hard to form an opinion about anything on them.
Jim, I have a little bit of good news for you from that Blue Jays Marlins set. These are the 2 teams I said should trade. They should have just left bodies, like Blue Jays trade some of your hittings for Marlins pitching. As the Yankees got the ship in the right direction, the Blue Jays have been a little bit of the forgotten team in the AL East. They got 2 nice starts, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run from each of them, Stripling and Robbie Ray. Well, I think Robbie Ray's having like a season now. And
they also had a good start from K. Is that yesterday or was that the day before? I think it was yesterday. So it's next episode. But
keep that going, Blue Jays. That's good for you. I guess it is against the Fish, who also have those arms. And then my eyes jump to Giants Angels just because Angel fans were talking shit like a week and a half ago because they played nobody, and now you're 3 games under 500. You're 2 games back of the Mariners, and you've got the Rays and the Yanks coming up.
Yeah, another thing that Jake said that I'm going to agree with him. Schedule shaming in baseball should be more prominent than it currently is. Like,
huge up.
Everyone says, you can only play who's on your schedule, and I understand that to be very true. But yeah, Angels fans, there's the Angels subreddit hates me. So they're like, the Angels have won 9 in a row, and it's like, well, I wish you were winning more, but who did you beat? Okay. You beat you beat the Royals, the Diamondbacks. You got swept by Oakland. Then you beat the Tigers. Then you got 2-game sweep by Giants. So the Angels are exactly who they are. If a team is statistically supposed to be worse than them, they will beat them. If a team is statistically supposed to be better than them, they will lose to them. That's they're just going to ride that line all the way through.
Joe Madden, hate to say it. I mean, they had a lot of chances to win that game Ohtani started because they didn't have a DH for Ohtani. So it ended up biting them. And I don't mind him doing that because Ohtani is a game-changing hitter. Like, with his power, he can change the game with one swing. Problem is they had a short bench. And when you have a short bench, you're going to have some pinch hitters when you're not using a DH. And if something goes wrong, like Ohtani actually went, 6 innings or something like that? If he goes 4 innings, you're going to use up your whole bench automatically. But then something else did happen. Kurt Suzuki had to come out of the game. Now all of a sudden they had an emergency catcher. They had pitchers playing in the outfield. They had a pitcher with the game tying or winning run on second base in extra innings having to take an at bat. I think he needs to rethink about doing that with Ohtani. He shouldn't be hitting on days he pitches unless they have a full bench, maybe even an extra guy on a doubleheader day or something like that, because it blew up in his face here. And it's not the only reason they lost the game, but I'm sure he would have liked to have a full bench there towards the end of the game, or at least some guys to draw off of.
I like that. Should there be a third catcher rule? If your catcher either leaves with injury or you just have to have 3 catchers on the roster, add an extra catcher spot.
Not. No.
How many times do games come up and it's it's just the catcher on the bench because we're saving him? I don't know. I think there's something there to make the game fun. The only other thing that felt semi-impactful, man, St. Louis. Jim, I know you say it's 2 games and St. Louis is sad right now and they've been in a little bit of a funk, but when you have 2 games come up versus the Tigers, you're saying well, let's win 2, or if we split, whatever, let's move on. When you lose both of them, they're searching for the bottom right now.
It's not 2 games for the Cardinals. I think I just looked. They're 5-15 in their last 20. Ooh, is that right?
It's a bad feeling.
That's bad. Yeah, they're 5-15 in their last 20, 10-20 in their last 30. this team has fallen off, man, and it's not good. I declared them easy NL Central champs after they got Arenado, and they have not lived up to that hype whatsoever. I know they've had a few injuries here and there, but I think we didn't give enough credit to some of these teams going into the season. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, and I
Like the Brewers.
you know, we did our over-unders up, and there I love that up. That up was a blast. We got to talk about like every team. That was fun. I had some team research stuff. Rosie mentioned it, I think, on your IG show, and he's mentioned it on here. The Cardinals' walk stuff is bizarre. The amount of guys their pitching staff walks. They're the worst team, or best team in baseball at, I guess, the worst team. I don't know, man. Jay Flair, come back, straighten it out, but what's going on in the Lou, man?
I don't know. They're 6 games out at this point. They would not be in the postseason.
Reds jumped them. Who would be, Tim?
Yep. So BBD's postseason simulation. He's going to stimulate the simulation. I just need a quick 3-second answer, BBD, and no one's going to hold you to it. The Cubs and Brewers are going to be playing a 1-game play-in for the division leader right now. Who wins the 1-game play-in?
Brewers.
Okay. All right. So then in the NL wild card, you have the Dodgers versus the Padres. Who's winning that?
Ooh. Dodgers.
Wow. Huge. Now you have in the NLDS, you have the Brewers versus the Mets.
Mets.
Wow.
Good
Huge
job for the Mets. The Brewers had to use their best pitcher in the 1-game play-in.
1 game.
Yeah. Dodgers versus Giants. Great series in the NLDS too.
Still Dodgers.
Rivalry.
That's a rivalry. Okay. And the Mets versus the Dodgers in the NLCS. Who's going to the World Series for the NL?
Dodgers, Mets live in heartbreak.
Wow. Tough. Okay. Wow. In the American League, the wild card game, 1-game play-in, is the A's versus the Red Sox right now. Ooh. Who's winning that?
Red Sox.
Wow. Sorry, Jokeland.
Chris Sale's back by then.
Oh, and Chris Sale's the wild card starter?
I had him in like a mid-game relief role.
I have no idea what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'd be cool. That'd be the coolest
righty.
thing to happen.
Okay.
So.
Righty.
AL divisional series, Rays versus White Sox. Old school versus new school.
White Sox.
Glasnow says he's going to be back.
It's just 1 game.
Red Sox versus Astros. Red Sox had to use Chris Sale in the wild card game. Okay, Houston makes it to the ALCS for a 5th time in a row, and they face the White Sox. Who pulls that one out?
White Sox.
Wow. Good for them.
White Sox versus the Dodgers in the World Series.
White Sox.
Wow.
The BBD stimulator.
Wow. Okay.
What a playoffs it was.
Yeah, that is.
Tony La Russa taking the crew to the
holding the
World
trophy.
Series.
All right.
You think he's going to party
Driving
afterwards?
So
around
I'll
town
keep
with
a
his
note here on
spin
June
and juice.
25th. The White Sox are the BBD simulation winner.
Every Friday.
Every Friday we'll just find
And he-
who's going to win.
Can we get Tony La Russa a driver for that night? Is that bad to say?
Trav.
Let's set that up early.
I feel like we can schedule that.
We can schedule that.
All right, that's anything else you want to talk to on the team front? I think we're good. All those 2-game sets stink.
A little bit.
It's like they have the holiday weekend coming up where they want to put all their good matchups. I just knew it was a dead week.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's move on.
Let's
Second half of the show, let's get into some individual stuff. Who's hot? Who's not? Who had a good game? Who do we believe in? This is brought to you by our merch shop, shop.jomboymedia.com. We just got a shirt, a
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. Nothing but sweat.
It's
in
just
the hair.
sweat.
Just sweat.
If you live in the DC metro area and you like sweat, it could be a good shirt for you.
Yeah.
This I Love Baseball shirt I'm wearing right now.
Yes.
It comes in a lot of different colors.
Yes.
Trevor Plouffe has a hat on. It says Talkin' Baseball.
Shop.jomboymedia.com.
That's an instant friendship if you run into another Talkin' Baseball fan.
Young Jake.
Oh.
Who's your standout performer?
Oh, to the what? Oh. James had a couple, went a little whoop whoop when I was looking at my standout performance. and Jim, you know this about me. I'm proud about some things.
Okay.
I'm a proud Connecticut boy.
Yeah, you are proud of
I
that.
really am. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Anywhere I've been, I'm kind of happy about. That's a cool thing to say. And a CT boy dropped it on the table this weekend. This week. A lot of talk about pitchers and sticky stuff and a lot of spin rate checks. A guy I mentioned, a guy I threw under the bus just for connecting some basic dots for the people, said, fuck your dots, little kid.
Did he really?
Charlie Morton, the salt man. He's throwing sinkers. He don't even need it. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 11 Ks, 2 walks. And how about 2 hit by pitches? Don't stand on that plate. Daddy's pitching inside. Charlie Morton drops it. These Braves are searching for any air at this point. Oh, my God. The gnats are flying past them. Charlie Morton, a guy that's been linked to a lot of stuff because, hey, he was in Houston when they were doing funny business at the latter half of his career, and he found something. Well, he dropped it on the table the other night. His spin numbers were fine. And guess what? When he's right, like, go back to some of the recent playoff games and look what Charlie Morton does. Holy Toledo. CT boy, good for him. 7 shutty. Keep it going, I guess. Or trade him. Oh, Braves.
Wait, he's a Connecticut guy?
Joe Barlow High School,
Joe
baby.
Barlow High School. I lived like 5 minutes from Joe Barlow High School.
Had one of my most frustrating soccer games against Joe Barlow. So, rather not talk about it.
Hey, if you like Connecticut so much, why don't you live there anymore?
He works in the city.
Work in the city. I live basically as close as you can while trying to build a fucking media empire and not get stoned and talk about dinosaurs all day, Trev.
Some people in the chat were knocking you for being a proud Connecticut person, and I lived
get it.
No, I don't. I lived a lot of places in my life. Connecticut, great towns, terrible cities. That's its motto.
Yeah.
And you're from the towns. Also,
What's the city in Connecticut?
there's a lot of them. They're small.
Hartford?
Hartford, New Haven,
Bridgeport.
New Haven.
Stanford's trying to make the turn on that.
Yeah, Stanford's
a
trying to
good
help
spot.
out, but I didn't make up that saying.
That's
That's
the
like
city.
a Connecticut
I
thing.
think Connecticut is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 4 perfect seasons. That's my favorite thing about it. 3 months of summer, 3 months of spring, 3 months of winter, 3 months of fall. Rinse, repeat.
Dang biscuit.
You get excited. You love it. You get a little done with it. You're anxious. You're ready for the next one. It comes.
And, like, sure, there's douchey
Not like-
people, but there's douchey people everywhere. So, like,
Yeah, you got that
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Is that targeted?
My standout is a guy who didn't allow a single hit yesterday.
Trev, 3 words about Charlie Morton.
I don't know.
I don't know. No,
I
that's
don't know.
great.
That
I don't
was
know if
perfect.
it's-
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Your guy.
Nick Pivetta.
Ooh.
Yes.
Trev's guy.
No hits yesterday. I don't know if you guys know that. He got pulled. He didn't finish the 7th inning. Pitch count was up there. But he didn't allow a single hit against the Rays. And through 4 innings, he had faced the minimum. He walked someone, double play. I think he walked and hit Lau. So I think Lau he was like, well, this guy might hit me, so I'll just fuck him. Struck out the side in the first, had 8 Ks, shuts down the Rays in their ballpark. He was all excited about when the Red Sox might have scored the go-ahead run because he was through 6. He was going to come out for the 7th. They might be giving him the lead. Then Kiermaier throws him out to play. His reaction's really funny. Like, he gets up, celebrating, then he sits down, collects himself. It's like, okay, I got to go back out there. And then there was an error behind him in the 7th, so he gets pulled. But yeah, full pension Piv. Good job by him.
Like
Great
that.
start.
Pension Piv. How was his spin? I'm curious.
Ooh.
I don't mean a dog. I'm just asking.
That a spin check?
was
I will.
Throws down.
I will check. I did want to say something to add on the Morton stuff, which I forgot. This start by Charlie Morton brings his ERA from the 4s into the 3.6, which I think mentally for him and for opposing batters and opposing fan bases does
different
change
level.
the thought process on him. You know, you see a guy coming into town who's got an ERA in the 4s, you're like, okay,
Let's hit a little.
let's hit a little bit. So just that the mental game is a little bit more in his favor now with that start. Did you find Pivetta's spin? I can find it in 2 seconds.
I was a Pavetta Canada guy. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
How about that?
He'd still be my standout.
Canada.
His spin was only down. It wasn't down. It wasn't down. His four-seam, it's all down, which I find funny. Like the four-seam fastball is down 28 RPM, which isn't anything.
Not down.
That's good for him. Good job.
His
man.
knuckle curve was actually up 79.
Trevor, you should send. You should go. We'll go through the numbers a little bit. I won't. Maybe Max. Moylan's been all over it. You should go through the numbers, and anyone whose spin stayed, I think you should send the text. Like, you should be the authority on that. Like, you're a good person.
I don't know if for doing like what's like right. I'm not gonna tell you that. Like,
Yes, quit making it about the players. I'm fine
Yeah.
with any pitcher that was using it.
I don't think we've talked about that at all.
Trev's
The
not.
Yu Darvish had balls from the NPBL,
NPBL,
That's
I believe.
Japanese league. He had them sent out, and those are tackified.
Yeah.
I think Mizuno makes them, and he brought them. He gave some to his pitchers, and then sent to the Reds, and they were like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah, well,
How easy of a solution is
I
that?
think that's-
Because guess what? MLB owns the
I think
balls.
that's what they're going to do. I mean, we can save this for another thing, but they
Yeah.
said that in the past they have brought those balls. I think Korea has tackified balls as well around.
Yes.
And tried to like see if this is like an option, and everyone kind of just shrugged.
Well, it's because this wasn't a story back then, and they were like happy using their substances. Now they can't use the substance. Like, oh yeah, I'll take
Give me
that
the
tackified
tack
ball.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Did you guys see the picture of that machine, that mud ball machine? I think we tweeted it out too. I mean, it's comically how far we've come away from like, roll the ball out there, kids. It's this machine that's supposed
And the process, we've talked about this before. The process of them
Right.
rubbing on balls is a joke anyway. It's an absolute joke. So they need to do something. But let me get to my standout performance.
You're up.
All right, I am giving it to my guy, Dan Rourke, producer extraordinaire's favorite player. I've never seen someone ride for a person the way Dan rides for Aaron freaking Judge. It makes me really happy.
Did you see his one tweet about
Dan-
the ump?
I didn't. Let's not do that on the air.
genuinely no.
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy. People don't like that, okay? They always comment that you interrupt me too much. Ooh, anyways, he goes 3 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. Had a great series against the Royals. Was having a down June a little bit after having a good April and May. And then in the last 7 days, in 6 games, 24 at-bats, 8 hits, 2 doubles, a homer. That's good for us. 970 OPS. That's the kind of thing that we expect from Judge. Right now, he's sitting at 149 OPS plus. That's right in line with his 150 career OPS plus. He's been playing. When he's on the field, he's one of the best players in the league. We love to see it. So congrats to Aaron Judge for just being yourself. You 6'7", 280-pound animal. I love that, man. Love that guy. So shout out to Dan Rourke, too.
Yeah, we were at the game. I was joking at the game because Yankee fans were like, Judge hasn't hit a home run in forever. His numbers in his last 7 games are awful, which they were. It was 241 batting average and a 588 OPS. But they weren't like awful. So when he had the one game, which you just earned your standout for, I joked that like, well, when you add that one game now, I bet his last 7 looks really good. And it does. So
Looks really
now
good.
his last 7 is a 924 OPS and a 321 batting average. So like his bad stretch wasn't that bad, because if your bad stretch is really bad, you're like 0 for 10 and one game doesn't get you back into like, well, now all those games are good. So good job by Judge.
Judgy, big weekend. Big weekend.
Dude. 6'7", 280. I know he's big, and then you read that out, and you're like, holy shit.
Trev, it's nuts. For a while, the thing with the Yankees was all these big guys. It was Dellin, it was CeCe. Now they have a little more like scale. We should make the Yankee scale, because it starts with Judge, and he's a monster. And he's thick, and he's tall. And then it goes to Stanton. It was 6'5", but he's like cut up, and you're like, okay. And then it goes to Luke Voit, who's like 6'2", but, more linebacker DN build. And, like, as you go down the scale and you look at Luke Voit and you see how huge he is, and then you remember that there's a person between him and Judge, you're like, holy crap. Judge is huge.
He's massive.
Huge.
Big guy.
And those teeth didn't affect his gameplay,
It's
which
huge.
we were
We
worried
helped
about.
him out.
Just huge.
Yeah. All right, Trev. See you later.
All right, BBD, you got it?
Slump
It's a slump watch. Slump watch.
We had 5 guys that we were monitoring. We have 5 guys that may be added. BBD, who may be added to Slump Watch?
The guys who might be added, Shohei Ohtani's in an 0 for 6 with a walk slide. 5 of those 6 are Ks.
All these 2-game sets.
Yeah, two-game set season.
Okay.
Jose Ramirez goes 0 for 8 with his only one strikeout,
Wow.
putting the ball in play. Gleyber Torres, he goes 0 for 6 this series with 3 walks, but we figured out yesterday just how long his bad stretch is. He's in like a 2 for 35, so it's pretty bad. Charlie Blackmon goes 0 for 5. Mitch Haniger goes 0 for 8, 2 Ks.
Dude, thank you very much. I tried to find out if we can make the Ohtani 2 games, if you could extrapolate it. I went to 6.
Okay.
Because 3 or 4, it's still pretty small.
Can be tight. Can be a
In his
slump.
last 6 games, which include the 2 that got him on this list, he has a 1 OPS.
Yeah.
Was his
And
2-homer game
4 home
right
runs.
before that?
Well, he's 4 home runs in his last 5 games.
Yeah.
So, like, if I go to the last 4 games, it's still an 866
Yeah,
OPS.
it would
So you can't
be-
find it. So
It would be rude of us as a baseball podcast to do that. Always watch Shohei Ohtani. How about that?
yeah, we are actually on Shohei Ohtani Watch. If they announce he's starting in the Bronx,
Yeah,
Jake and I are
we're
going
going.
because I'm not going to miss
We'll
that.
be going. Jim, we had a couple guys on the Slump Watch.
Yes.
We had the Yandy man, Yandy Diaz. He goes 2 for 9, double walk K.
After his 1 for 12 series.
Eesh. I don't know. I kind of want to see the rest, I guess.
Okay.
Chris Bryant goes 2 for 5 with a homer and 3 walks.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
off.
that's a little
He's off.
golf clap for me.
500 on base percentage.
Good job, KB. Robbie Grossman with a 1 for 5 after 1 for 19. I feel like
He's been
we've
very
given
poor,
up.
and yeah,
He had like one big week in the mix of like 2 months of kind of bad.
Get back in the trade combo, Robbie Grossman. Arenado, 1 for 8. The 1 is a homer. In last series, it was 3 for 13 with the homer, but it's still not good. Seems like he stays. And then
It feels like it's time for this is the last time Arenado's on.
yeah, like maybe we'll see what's up. Who are
Unless
they
it's
playing
full
this
bad.
weekend? Who's their is it Cardinals Cubs? They're
Let me
rivals,
double
right?
check.
That'd be great. Starling Marte, a mini shame to flame, 3 for 7, homer and a walk, when the rest of his team didn't hit that whole series in Toronto. So
Earned his way
Nolan
off. The
Arenado's-
Cardinals play the Pirates. at
Nolan
home.
Arenado's numbers last 22 games bad.
So how about this? I say we leave Arenado and we do like a one and done with it. Because the Pirates are coming in. Like, you better go shame to flame.
Yes,
Yeah.
Glaber's got to be on there,
Gleyber has been bad.
and the Yankees don't have another shortstop that they can replace him with. So
He will
it's-
be playing.
He'll just play, so he's got to get better.
Bad.
Haniger, Blackmon, I don't care. Ramirez, I'll see because it's only an 0 for 8. It's only 2 games. Like if it's the same thing as
See if
Ohtani,
there's
Should
a
we see
little
if it
more
goes
juice
beyond
there.
these
yeah,
two?
I'll check it out.
Because I think I'm okay with Ramirez and Haniger because
They both had big
Cleveland's
years.
still doing good things, and he's their guy now, and Haniger's having a nice year, and he's kind of their guy.
I mean, it's not.
He was not
his
that
last-
long ago tied for a league lead in homers.
His
situation.
last 6 games, 551 OPS. So
Worth
yeah,
watching.
You can
Ramirez
you can
and
do
Haniger.
Ramirez.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. His last 10 games,
He can be a little streaky.
647. Yeah,
And this
I
is
think
to get him
Mariners-
off. You know, it's
yeah,
a good thing.
motivate him a little bit. I don't
And-
care about Blackmon or Haniger, whatever.
I think
goes
we
on.
should put Haniger on there.
Haniger.
Mariners fans in the chat seem to
It's
be.
Haniger.
There we go.
Chuck Nasty, you dodged a bullet. Good 3 walks.
We did it. Trev, you're allowed back.
Trevor, if you're there, you are welcome. Yandy Diaz, Nolan Arenado, Gleyber Torres, Jose Ramirez, Mitch Haniger. We will hopefully say good riddance to you next week.
Good riddance.
Goodbye to you.
Trev, come
Goodbye
back.
to Trevor Plouffe.
Trev, come back, Trev.
We'll show him on the screen in a second. And I think producer BBD says he's just playing with dinosaurs off screen right now.
Wow. As soon as he came back, I was going to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
But I don't want to leave you doing a one-man
All
show.
the pretty girls stand in line for the bathroom. Any Pharrell fans out there?
For sure. There's at least 10 to 15.
Yeah, people don't remember how big Frontin was at the time.
I don't. That's a true
Yeah.
statement. Do we just want to move
Is
on?
Trev missing, BBD? We need a little more.
Is he-
Oh!
Trev's
There
here. I
he
covered you.
is.
You can go pee
All
You're
right.
out.
after you play
Play
the
this
thing.
clip.
Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Trevor, if there's one thing you like, it's hot guys. So let's talk about who's in Fuego.
Okay.
Welcome to the Crone Zone. Ooh, might not have had your audio there. Jay Cronenworth. How's your 5 for 12 with 3 homers? Holy smokes. The Cronenworth truthers are like always right. He's good.
3 games in a row with the homer.
Holy smokes. Sean Murphy, 5 for 11, 2 homers. You know Sean, Trev? Did you guys link up in Oakland at all? Never? No?
No, I don't mean he might know me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I
You know
do
what I'm
you're saying. Wilson Contreras. Holy smokes. We haven't. I know Jim said we hadn't heard from Adelise in a while. I feel like Wilson Contreras, 4 for 7, a homer. Good for him. Eli White, 8 for 15. Good for you, fam. Couple extra base hits and 2 hit by pitches. Sorry, Eli. Come on, pitchers. So soft.
Cool.
They're so soft. Michael Brantley, Dr. Smooth.
course.
Dude, what has Brantley done since he's come back? I feel like he's had 3 7 for 11 series.
I'm gonna go find a bigger.
He might have the best swing in all of baseball. At least like the most consistent. He's Joe Mauer. Like the way that he
Wow.
commands
I
the
love
strike zone
that.
and can repeat his approach.
I love that comparison, Trev.
He
That's
doesn't get
good.
fooled. Joe never got fooled. Like they are very similar.
I'm looking at Brantley's numbers since his return on June 8th. That's 15 games. He's 30 for 61. That's 492 batting average. Slugging 705. That comes to a 1.249 OPS. 12 runs scored, 15 ribbies, 8 doubles in that period.
That's
Homer and a triple, too. Only
that's-
5 strikeouts.
some real sicko stuff from Michael Brantley. Jonathan Scope, 4 for 9, 2 homers. Machado, he's been doing it on both sides. He gets a couple. Aaron Judge, you heard about him. King Louis V. Luke Voigt is back for the Yankees. He hit a couple balls, just missed a couple homers too. And then Ryan O'Hearn for Kansas City. He came off the IL. He's been swinging an all right bat. So that's in
The Yanks
Fuego.
a couple times.
Jim, the biggest update is Brantley's an insane person right now. What was the number, BBD? Run it back.
Since June 8th, 15 games since returning from whatever his thing was, 30 for 61, 492 batting average with a 1.249 OPS, 12 runs scored, 15 ribbies, 8 doubles.
How many days or games are you
6
going back?
walks. Only
15.
15 since he returned.
Days or games?
15 games from him. Struck out 5 times in that period.
Jesus.
Do you think any?
My
do you think
goodness.
second place is close? I'm gonna do 17 days, guessing the Astros had 2 off days.
It feels fair.
God.
There are players with higher OPSs than him, but not batting average.
Not batting average.
Jim, I gave the
Guys like
comparison.
6 homers.
Good
but-
player comp from Trev.
I said Michael Brantley is very similar to Joe Mauer in the fact
Okay.
that he does not get fooled. It's very repeatable, his swing. I was just looking at their numbers. They're not too dissimilar. Joe's got him a little bit on the the OBP. Brantley at 356 and Joe is at 388. Brantley's just barely beating him in slug. The thing that they both do well is they don't strike out a lot and they walk a lot. Brantley career 435 walks to 600 strikeouts. It's a very good ratio. And Joe Mauer, 939 strikeouts to 930 9 walks to 1,034 strikeouts. So he was almost at that 1-to-1 ratio, which is incredible. So both those guys are stupid.
Good shit.
Love that.
Shout out to Reese McGuire. In the last 17 days, he's got the second highest batting average. Half the at-bats of Brantley. But good job. All right. Wowzer. That leads us straight into awards, which are brought to you by all of our college World Series coverage. Talking Farm to Fame.
Wow.
Kelsey Wingert, Peter Moylan, Maddie Mass. Also talking Braves Ashland. She's been all over it. If you're on Twitter, at Braves Ashland, and she's been covering every game and giving you the scoop. So go
Real
check out.
scoops.
Yeah, real scoops. Ain't gonna bullshit you.
Real scoops.
Oh, God, no, she did not.
So go check out Ashland and Farm to Fame if you want to watch the College World Series and find out what's going on down there. Jake,
Yeah.
your award
Yeah.
is?
I am giving the Guy Next Door award. The Guy Next Door
Not the
award.
girl next door.
Not the girl next door.
Sneaky good soundtrack on the Girl Next Door movie.
What we
just to
always
let you know.
talk about on
Movie.
here.
That's a great bus movie. We used to watch it all the time in my movie.
It is a good bus movie. You can tune in if you want, tune out if you need to.
Chicks in there, yeah.
Okay. Right about that in the article.
Elijah Cutbirth.
Ooh, got a shape to her.
Alicia?
Alicia, I don't know how you say it. She's in a lot of music videos.
The Guy Next Door.
Puddle of Mud.
You know, I think there's a couple old tropes in play here. You know, the girl next door is always the cute gal that your neighbor and you like them and, you know, they're studious, they're nice, they're a good person. The guy next door is always kind of like, I feel like the movie trope would be like, you know, the guy next door, yeah, he's not the hot guy. It's, okay, maybe it's me. No. There's a guy literally next door to someone who needs to get more love. He's gotten a little bit of love this episode, and I want to give him some more love. And he's usually the guy next door to Fernando Tatis Jr. I am giving the guy next door award to Manny Machado. I love me some Manny money. He put on a display in this Dodgers series, and everyone goes to Tatis, and that's fine. We even talked about the Crone Zone a lot this series. How could you not? Manny Machado, very casually, you know, having a Hall of Fame career next to Tatis, and we as a society were so excited for the unknown and where Tatis lands. Is he going to be one of the best ever? Is he the best shortstop in the game now? Manny Machado, how's your Gold Glove all-world third baseman? Platinum glove in the bag. Whoops. And he does it over there. And then in the shifts, we talked about a little bit, Trev, you did the sequence on it. He's doing the martini shift where he's the second baseman. He's making nice plays on ground balls over there. That's not an easy play, especially for a lot of third basemen to make. And then the fly balls to right. We saw him dive on the warning track. He made a great play earlier this year. His versatility and ability just gets overlooked with some of the hubbub with these Padres. Trev, do you want to guess the career WAR? Top of your head, he's 28 years old. Machado, career WAR, he's 28 years old.
He's probably had 8 seasons in the show, around there, maybe 9. I'm going to guess he's probably pushing 35.
Manny Machado has a 42.9 career WAR. If he has half of his career, so he turns 29 in a couple weeks. We're excited for that. But if he has half of his career in the rest of his career, whoa, little Jake math coming at you. He's at a Hall of Fame pace for third baseman all time. And he got the big contract, Harper Machado, and that kind of whole thing sorted out weird. He went to San Diego. We thought we might not see much of him. Now he's in San Diego, and he's kind of the bonus piece. Everyone's on Tatis. Machado's a stud, man. I love watching him play. His swing Trevor, and I'll have you double check me on this. When his swing's right, I think it's one of the prettiest right-handed swings in the game. The long follow-through and everything he does on the field. And he had a hustle beat-out single. And, you know, there was this stereotype with Machado that he wasn't a hustle guy because he had a couple moments when he was young. Dude, that guy loves to play baseball. How many other star third basemen can you tell in the shift to go play short right field? I don't know. A lot of those guys wouldn't like it. He doesn't care. He's a gamer. I love him. Manny Machado, the guy next door.
Manny Machado, the guy next door. All right.
Got to see a lot of Manny when he was with the Orioles. And he's a special talent out there. I mean, had to move when JJ was there to third base. Now he's playing third with Tatis there. So he's had some really good guys next to him. I don't know how much that helps him or doesn't help him. I don't know. But he's an elite player. That's for damn sure. And he is on a Hall of Fame trajectory, 100%. Can't say that about a lot of guys.
Good award.
Thank you.
Good award.
I am giving the Tight Squeeze award.
Ooh.
You guys got any guesses? Could you possibly figure it out? Trev?
Guessless.
What about now? Do you remember now? Well, it's a lyric from Trev's favorite band because he's a stoner, and they're stoner band. And Tight Squeeze, Cool Breeze, this is something that will never let us down. We're about to embark on a lifelong journey, and that goes to Rays fans and Wander Franco. And Wander's debut was incredible.
Yeah.
But I was even more impressed when I made the breakdown for Game 3 with how involved he was in the dugout, screaming and yelling, with like pouring the Gatorade on, like Lau started it, but then he was holding him to get the Gatorade shower for Margot. He's a young kid, 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's, according to the shots I saw, he's not like a quiet rookie sitting by. He's like taking charge. They're running pick plays behind the runner. Yeah, it's a home run is his first hit, and that's obvious. A double later on. So Wander Franco starting his journey with the Rays. And Trev, you're probably right. Like, it will taper down maybe, and he's just like, you know, a very fun debut because that's how it goes a lot of times. Or maybe he stays hot forever. Who knows? He hasn't gotten a hit in his next two games, but even beyond those first game performance, I was impressed with just how, like, what is the word I used before? Like, weaved into the fabric of the Rays he feels already. In the dugout and all the celebration stuff. He was there. It's cool.
Hey, if you're looking for energy, the guy's got energy. Bringing that youthful exuberance to the field. Did have the big opening day or opening game for himself, and then hasn't hit in the other couple games, but his presence has been felt. He's done well defensively, and he's just like one of those guys. He's all over the field. You know, not even the celebrations and stuff, just playing defense and the way he's running the bases. I mean, that is going to lift up any team that he's on. So it's given the Rays the spark they needed. He's anybody that watches him plays like, all right, that guy's going to be okay. Like, struggle or not this year, like, you just watch his actions and you watch the way he approaches the game and the way he takes his at bats. The results may not be there in the first three games, obviously, but he's going to be a damn good player, like a damn good player.
Yeah, I mean, how's your played a game at third, played two at shortstop, batted second, batted third, 20 years old. It's sick stuff. We, as Yankee fans, we don't see a lot of this. Like, even if a top guy gets called up, like Gleyber Torres, his first year when he was, you know, lights out, he was 9-hole Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
Like, for this guy to come up and now, like, you're the dude, like, Randy, the best ever, is obviously the best ever, but Wander's the dude, and I'm excited for him. How could you not love that debut? Like, even if you're a Red Sox fan, like, hey, you get to watch it, and you won the game, so enjoy it. Man, he if he's for real, that changes a big dynamic in the AL. Like, if Tampa Bay just snagged a star infielder. So I'm really interested to see how his next few weeks go, and I know we always watch for the the second time through.
Second time
even
facing
if he,
teams.
Yeah, if he has a hot couple weeks, what's the follow-up? What are the adjustments? It's constant adjustments, but man, it's exciting, man. Dude feels like he might have a little star power juice to him.
Can't they
What's
throw
crazy
him in
to
the
me is-
hole right away?
Well, 2 and 3, yeah.
It's fucking wild.
What's crazy is, these guys are international signees, so any team's free to sign them. They have to go out and shell out the money, and I think the Rays picked him up for like, I don't know, close to $3 million, which is it's a big signing bonus. But wouldn't another team? Why didn't you just go give him $3.5 million or $4 million? Like, I don't know, man. That whole signee international thing is strange to me. Because I know there's a cap like on a limit of the amount of money they have to spend, but you can like get more through trades. I would just be trying to acquire so much international signee capital. Just go give everybody money down there. Everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's
Some teams straight up don't care about it.
It's crazy to me.
The Yankees care about it, and they don't care about the draft. Some teams care about the draft, don't care about international. So it's some teams half care about both, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we might have a good nickname alert, and it's similar to one of my many. He has it listed on his Instagram, so I guess it's a nickname he believes in. But El Patron, which is the boss. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. And I'll get us a double ad deal here. One of my many nicknames is Poppy Patron. Vegas trip went in on some Patron, so there's a select group of people that know me as Poppy Patron. So me and him, we can have El Patron and Poppy Patron, get a little Patron ad deal going. I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
How many games do you think it took the Yankees to put Judge into the 3-hole in 2017?
In 2017, he starts going nutty. I'd say like a month. He was good, right?
Yeah, at the end of the first half, he had 30 home runs,